more TNA stuff, and it's more WWE crossover stuff. So first it was Jordan Grace, and now on NXT this past Tuesday, Frankie Kazarian was there, although he wasn't really, he was just sort of just there, and just was another body in the Battle Royal. But there was a Battle Royal, by the way. And more importantly, because he got his own entrance, and he got to cut a promo, and he got a special camera thing and everything, Joe Hendry made his NXT and WWE debut. You watched it. What did you think?
Okay, I'm confused on Joe Hendry. Is he in NXT or is he in TNA?
He's in TNA. This was another TNA crossover.
Okay. Well, I don't really get this either, but this was Joe Hendry's first appearance, correct?
Yeah. And it was a surprise, I believe, as well.
And unless you on social media, of course, I knew who he was, but I don't know how many people really knew who he was. Ethan Page, he debuted the same time, right?
No, I think he debuted a few weeks earlier.
Okay. Well, and then both of them went in there and they were in it. Page went head to head to Joe Hendry and they got to arguing. Then all of a sudden somebody who came in and attacked Ethan Page?
Oh, you're already testing me. I can't remember. I watched it too.
See, I don't know, but some guy come in and they fought out of the ring. So that's over. And now everybody teamed up on Joe Hendry because he said he's going to eliminate everybody. So they dumped him out. So that to me didn't do either one of them any good. So I think they went about that backwards. But Joe Hendry, I think that he's got his own song. I think he'll do okay. But I think everybody needs to take a lesson or a page out of Triple H's booking book, how to book effectively and wisely, because I've used that one time, and it works. You tell the story, people are paying attention to the story and what's going to be the result of the match, other than just all this high-flying stuff. So you can see all that high-flying stuff and the greatest stuff in the world, but what you're going to do next week, they've already seen it, or most of it. That's when the story's got to take over. And remember, I've said before, it's not the first thing you do in an angle. It's really the second thing, the follow-up. The follow-up needs to be almost as zeroed in as the first one. Now you start a story. Now you can slow it down a little bit, or you can speed it up. But another thing old Booker told me one time, he said, don't ever go too far to where you can't back up and readjust. So you can't shoot the angle that all of a sudden just changes everything. You can get close to that and see how you feel or how the fans feel, because they're going to be the ones who ultimately decide what you do anyway.
With Joe Hendry, I'm going to play devil's advocate with you, Dutch, because I heard other people complaining, well, what did he give Joe Hendry a big intro for and everything, and then have him be eliminated first? But in my mind, I was thinking, well, if he was just eliminated halfway through, would people remember as much? Or
No.
do you just think, if anything, he should have been the last two or something?
I would have handled it. I don't know how I would have handled it, but I think I would have handled it just a little bit differently. Nothing else, have him go in there after making that a big deal and just hide. Get knocked out of the ring, and then all of a sudden you see him and see he looks up over the ring, how many people, and then he goes back up under the ring till there's only 3 guys. And then he's, oh, I'll get in here now. Now that's memorable, I would think. He picks his spot and goes in. He didn't beat everybody, but really, if he wins, he did beat everybody. So he didn't tell a lie doing his promo. But see, the days of the chicken shit heel are gone. But they don't need to be. Because, heel's getting his ass beat, and all of a sudden he hits that ankle express. He takes the walk. Oh, the people, ooh, you chicken shit, and then if he runs and runs, and I've done that 1,000 times, it always works. But if you're going to be a chicken shit, and everything's fine when you got the guy beat down, now you can brag and you can pose and you can do that and you can do your Hogan stuff. And but then when the baby face fires up, whoop, gotta leave. Gotta I gotta check out. I'll be back in a minute when you calm down.
This was one more thing I quite liked. I just saw this comment on Wrestling Inc. I don't know if it's true or not. I hope it is. Apparently, Joe Hendry's NXT debut got more views than this is on social media. Got more views than Will Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, and Okada's debuts for AEW combined. So apparently, Joe Hendry's got some big old cachet with internet fans.
No, he's got some steam behind him. What I'm saying is his first appearance here, I think, took that steam away from him, or somewhat.
Well, there was something that I didn't share with you. After this, there's a backstage vignette where Joe Hendry is actually yelling at Shawn Michaels as well.
Yep.
So they continued that story, and he was definitely a highlight of it. Regardless of if he's eliminated or not, you won't forget his appearance.
Okay, so after he was thrown out by everybody, then he comes back and bitches to Shawn Michaels that everybody teamed up on him.
Exactly.
Which was a good touch. That was good.
Now, very briefly as well. So
I think he needs to get a lawyer and go back and sue him.
Have you got a lawyer that you could recommend, Dutch?
Yes, my personal attorney here on the show, Adam Burbrower. Hello, Mr. Burbrower. I hope my life's treating you, and I'll be back in contact with you in a week or so.
I've still never quite understood that relationship with you and the lawyer, and you keep bringing. We'll find out. I need to ask why.
Hey,
why all of a sudden you've got legal quagmire.
Okay, Cornette has one.
So you
Stephen P.
So it's just we need one.
Stephen P. New. Now he's a real attorney.
Yeah. Why don't we get a judge, like the official judge, like a circuit judge?
Well, who would that be?
I don't know. I don't know any American judges. Could you ask one?
Well, I don't know any either because they've all sentenced me.
No, fair enough.
Oh, they know me, but I'm gonna be on the lookout for a judge. There was a judge that wrote me from Texas, and I can't remember his name now.
Was he trying to lure you back to Texas to?
No, he was a big wrestling fan. Oh. See, that's the thing about wrestling. Wrestling takes in everybody. It really does. It takes in doctors and lawyers, and it takes firemen and construction workers and teachers and truck drivers. It really takes in everybody. And I used to think when I would go in the ring and I would look out, let's take an event like WrestleMania 29. That was in New Jersey, right? 82,000 people in MetLife Stadium. But when I looked out, I didn't see just wrestling fans. I saw America. That's the people that get up every morning, get their kids off to school, get them breakfast, go to work, pay their taxes, do everything that makes this country work, and they're wrestling fans, which made me actually proud to be there. And that was back in the We the People days. And I've told this before, the creative thought that everybody would hate me, We the People. Well, what is to hate about We the People? That's what a democracy is. It's we the people decide what's going to make people mad, which gives me reason to think no wonder WWE creative was so off back in those days, because you just got to have common sense to know that when I would ask people to please rise and say along with me, We the People, half of them would get up, even though I was supposed to be a heel. They would even get up in your country, in England, and they would get up. And we'd all say, We the People. We the People is actual, it's universal. It's what it is. So, but I wasn't a big heel. People kind of liked me. They didn't like me in Texas, but I was attacking the immigration problem.